Now, I'm going to explain some psychology that most people probably don't realize. You see, we live in a world where everything has been staged for reasons. If you had a community that fully relied on itself as they would have back in the day, they had so many problems disease, uh, lack of food, because of weather or the environment, animals, whatever it was. So when these would have happened, when the lakes would have dried up, when the crops wouldn't have made it for that year, if the livestock was dying because of disease, somebody had to say, we need to figure this out because everybody else would have been losing their minds. And this is where psychology really goes deep. You see, in this world, they can get anything under conspiracy. And I've spent a lot of time alone. And one of my predictions is that one day somebody's going to get fed up and they're going to say, okay, time to reel the line in. And when that happens, I'm either going to have a lot of information or I'm going to have none. And if I was only focusing on dopamine, when that time comes, the numbness will become anger. But you see, when you have enough information, you're going to introspect and you're going to say, yes, I could have done this differently. And when the daylight comes, your petals are going to come out. The numbness is going to transform. This is the final transformation. The final transformation depends on whether you have information that will heal at that time. When I think about going to prison, I think about the things that could happen to my daughters. Yet, if I was inside a tent during a hurricane, well, I never knew that hurricane was going to hit while I was in that tent, right? Shit happens. So I'm going to say to myself, during that numbness, there's no way I could have known that that hurricane was going to hit at that moment. And that is going to tell me that it's finally time to transform. When things happen and we don't have the ability to see past that consequence, what's going to happen is you're going to turn on yourself and that numbness is never going to transform. As I said, if you're constantly looking for dopamine, you're not going to find any sort of light. You're only going to see the darkness inside of yourself say, I don't know what happened. I don't know where I went wrong. I don't know anything. And then you're going to lend your soul just simply to the rest of your existence until the day you die. Look at the guy. I read a story about a guy that was put in prison like hundreds of years ago. And he sat by himself for so many years that when they finally put somebody in a room with him, when he was finally able to talk to somebody, this guy turned this guy's mind on himself. And let's just say it wasn't good. And that is one of the darkest parts of psychology right there, is that when you can't heal your own pain, you're going to exploit somebody else's.